Hola!
What's going on?
How we doing, Roscoe?
Hey!
How are you two doing?
So good.
Great.
Yes,
So good.
Nice
you look,
to see you.
You look beautiful in green.
You look beautiful in green. We all wore this because it is this diva's birthday. On the count of three, can we say happy birthday, Naysha? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Naysha.
Thank you.
Yes, she
thank
is
you.
turning old today. So
20.
yes.
I just turned 41.
Let's go.
Super excited. Yes,
Happy
yes.
birthday.
Detox turned 52 last week. Anyway.
It's about you, though.
Anyway, we have two amazing guests. We're going to have a kiki today, yes?
Yes.
We're going to have a really good time. Ladies, you want to have a seat?
Sure. Kicking things off, bringing in our first guest right from up the street. Y'all make so much noise for Denali.
Yes.
And let's keep that going. Please make some noise for Tina Burner.
Come on. With a cocktail and all. Just ready.
Hi, ladies. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
Last week, Acid was knocking me out. Now I'm going to have to peek around.
Oh, was she?
No, you
Tina, how are you, baby?
I'm seeing where the camera is.
Oh, yeah. Find your light, find the camera.
Yeah.
How are you, baby?
Great, just so well rested.
Yes. It's been a while since you've been here, yes?
It has been a long time, yeah.
So we have a lot to say, yes?
We have always a lot to say.
Listen,
I don't back down.
We had Denali here last week in the audience, and we would ask questions that like, she wanted to answer everything, so guess what? We're going to make her answer everything this week.
Yes.
With that said, are y'all ready to get this shindig started?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. Mikey, let's throw on that episode. Okay. That seems exciting. Let me...
What part?
Hold on. Let's start with a question I've been asking all of our guests. Was this an easy choice for you to say yes to All Stars? Did you contemplate it? How quick did you make the decision? And why did you decide to do it?
Yeah, mine was really quick. If you all saw me on 13, it was a no-brainer. Thank you. I mean, it was very easy for me. I had something to prove, and I went in there with something to prove. I'd grown so much. I didn't think I could grow that much after doing drag for so many years, but I learned so much. It was like gay summer camp, and I was like, oh, I gotta step my pussy up. And then I saw my makeup in HD, and I went, we're gonna fix that. And so, yeah, they called, and I just said, when it was presented as like a third of the time to be there. Yeah. And I was working in Provincetown over the summer, so I wouldn't have to be gone as long. So I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? You know, just make them eat it. So
I do have to say, yes, let's clap for that. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I do have to say, we've said it multiple times. You look absolutely gorge. The looks, everything. We were so excited to see you up there. So I don't know what in terms of what you thought you had to prove, but I think you proved it.
Oh, yeah.
I really think you did. Denali, how about you? Was it an easy choice for you to say yes to go back?
Absolutely, yeah. Before I continue that, I also want to say, truly, Tina, seeing you on this All Stars as someone that was on season 13 with you, it was so heartwarming to see how incredible she performed. And regardless of all of the that goes on with the production of it all, and as like, you know, what this format calls for, you were perfect in my eyes. You were literally so good in every challenge, and I feel like that's the point of All Stars, is really coming back and doing the absolute best you can regardless of the other factors. On that note, yes, it was really easy to say yes coming back as well, because I don't know, every single meet and greet, anytime I was asked about anything or anytime I had an interaction with fans, it was always, when are you going back for All Stars? And it was because I was such a young queen going on. I'd only been doing drag for about 2 years when I was on season 13. So there was so much growth to be had. And then there was 4 years of touring and doing the Ru Girl lifestyle and really just like soaking in as much growth and information as I possibly could, to a point where when I personally felt ready, I said yes, because they had asked me for a few before, but I was like, I just don't know if it's the right time. And then they asked me for this one, and I had already made up in my mind, probably like, I don't know, 7 months before like the calls were going out, that I was like, I'm going back to All Stars next year. I'm getting my body right. I'm getting the drag right. I'm getting my finances right. I'm going to go for it. And so yeah, then I said yes when it came in.
And the body is And the body is right. The body's so right. I live.
Tina, was this the first time that they asked you back to do All Stars?
I was going to comment on that. Yes, it was. Thank you.
Denali.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they asked. I was just, okay, this is it.
This is it.
Because you know when they ask you, even if they ask you before, like, you risk that it's saying no, and then you're kind of like, they're just like, well, they don't want to do it, move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I remember I was downstairs at a Best Buy shopping for some shit, and I was just circling the aisles, and I was like, dude, what do I say? And I just kept going, and I was like, yes.
No, it's true, because if they ask you and you say no, you're like, they ain't ever gonna ask me again. Like, yeah, you kind of run that risk. And now that there's so many queens, right?
Unless you're Denali and they asked multiple times.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. They've asked you multiple times,
Yeah.
Diva.
Yeah, they had asked me for All Stars 8. And again, these were like unofficial. Generally, these are conversations that happen, and like it's not like a here's a letter from Hogwarts. It's very like, it's very like mutterings from producers and things like that. So All Stars 8 had happened, and then one of the globals, I really don't remember which one.
Yeah.
It was just like in passing, and I was like, oh no, it's okay. But yeah, it was about me and my personal timing, because like Drag Race is an incredible production now. It's got seasons after seasons after seasons. It's quite the machine. So like really it's not going anywhere. It's like, okay, I can feel like when it's not time for me, I can manifest when I'll go back kind of vibes.
That has to be a great feeling to know that, they've asked multiple times. We asked it, Betty said last week, she's like, they've asked me every time. That's sickening.
I would like to reiterate, they only asked me this past year. So, I just
You know what? You know what, Tina?
I just would like to...
Tina, and that's their loss. Don't try it. That's it. I always think that there's two types of people that they want for All Stars. The one that's gonna play the game, and the one that they can just with. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can pull a fast one on this, and then they're like, now this one's gonna play the game. You get what I'm saying? So it's like
100.
if you needed clearance for that.
They like their moldable ones, and then they like the ones that fight back.
Yes, Trinity the Tuck said it best. They love to take responsibility for people's success. On that note, let's go back to the show. Them for doing that, by the way. I forgot to say that part. Okay.
What a key.
Denali, do you want to elaborate about this challenge and how, the energy in the room and how it went? Talk to us about
absolutely. This was Stagecoach Challenge.
A parody of Stagecoach.
Stagecoach, the energy was, I don't know, when I heard that it was a music writing challenge, y'all all saw, I was like, okay, this is my week, everybody can sit down, whatever. And I felt very confident about it. You're supposed to write verses to both, and then you decide which ones you do in the workroom. And I ended up writing, I think, 4 or 5 verses for each song.
Word.
And just gave them like different options, and I like handed my papers in, and it was just like, just pick whichever one's good. They're all good.
Okay, well, they won the mini challenge as well. Make some noise for that. Great
Yeah.
job.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So you just won the mini challenge. You get $1,000, and they say it's writing music and girl groups. So you're like, this is my week for sure.
Yeah, I was really excited. We had a sewing challenge on the first one. I was just kind of wanting to get through that one. But any performance challenge, if it's dance, musical, snatch game, like whatever performance it is, I feel a lot more comfortable when it's that. I mean, I don't mind a design challenge. I love a design challenge, especially when it's like judged based on the designs.
Okay. I'm confused. What do you mean?
Let me elaborate.
So confused. Elaborate.
So our first challenge was the what was it? The comedy Wicked Good.
Good Witch, Bad
What
Witch.
y'all don't really know, and I think Daya and Acid spoke on it a little bit more last week, was that the comedy portion of that challenge was presented to us there and was explained to us there as the primary part of the challenge. And I don't think that translated on television. I don't think that they really said by the way, the comedy aspect of this challenge is the most important. It was to us. So we were all aware when Ginger and Daya won that we were like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Their script was good and da-da-da-da. And the looks were maybe secondary to it because I have to agree. I do think that like Ginger's was not the strongest. So for her to win, I was just kind of like everyone. I think the audience was really confused, but the comedy aspect of it was really emphasized while we were there. And I do think that Acid and I, however, if it was based on looks, maybe would have won.
Totally fair to say, yeah.
Yeah, very fair to say.
Because I even think the guest judges weren't explained that. I think Ariana was confused, and like some of them, because they praised our looks a lot, and even if you look at Ariana's face when, when the results were announced, she was kind of just like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, I just that's to clarify things. A lot of stuff on Drag Race, will give these prompts, and they don't always equal the prompts that you guys might see.
Right.
And also, All Stars is very smart in the way that they will hybrid these challenges, right? So it'll be a design challenge and a comedy challenge, and then when it comes to judging,
They can pick and choose which
the
one.
judges can kind of decide which ones they want to emphasize.
It's so funny. I love your choice of words, but say what it is. Produced. It's as simple as that. It's very produced. And trust me, I wasn't the only one to believe it. As soon as you walk in and there's certain things going down, you're like, oh.
Yeah. It's a really intelligently put together show.
Produced.
It really. But listen, it's a reality TV show.
Yeah.
Every reality TV show is produced. Like the second that we sign our names to return back to that, we are also agreeing upon the fact that we are participating in a produced television show.
Totally.
So sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say agreed, but it's like when they call it a rapping roast and you rap and then get in trouble for it.
Right, okay.
But another good
Really?
example, it was rapping and roasting, and they could decide which one they had wanted to.
And then you do both and you still get passed over for it.
Well, Tina, I want to ask you to pick and choose. If you saw these two groups here, whose would you want to be in? Denali and Acids with Alyssa, or Ginger and Daya with Cuckoo?
That's a great question, actually. Because my gut would say, I've known Ginger for a very long time, and we were comedy queen sisters. We both won the title together, like, separate times, but anyway, nationals. And so I do that, but I competed with you on 13, and I know your drive, and I know how much you want it. You know what I mean? So it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
So probably to throw things off, I'd probably go on your team to like balance it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you do the sexy concept, like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you both have really good work ethic. So I think, anyone would want to be partnered with you two. I mean, you guys work really hard. It shows.
Yeah, but you have to think about that because you're like, well, if that person's really good in the challenge, will they outshine me? Or
Yeah.
are they going to judge it based on our team? And will our team be uplifted? Or is it going to be individually? You never know.
And see, that's when I feel like we go back to that word. Produced. Because you have two people they're like, okay, we really love these two together. You are being judged as a group today. And then they're like, well, and I'm just going to use both your names hypothetically. You're like, well, I love Nina and I love Denali and I need them to go on. So they're like, what did I say?
Did you say Nina?
Nina, I'm sorry.
Did you just call me like Nina West?
I called her. No, I said
Bitch,
I
you're
said
wild.
Dina.
This is why I got sent home 3 times.
I said Dina instead of
I'm
Denali.
just kidding, I'm just kidding.
But no, if we have Denali and Tina Burner, let's say we have them on 2 different teams, but we want them both to advance. It's like you're being judged separately. You know what I mean? Individually, because it just sometimes it's a little more obvious than others,
Absolutely.
and it's kind of annoying. But with that, let's go ahead and see how this is judged and how this goes. I try to say Tina and Denali as one. I think
Because
Tina.
it was a conversation that happened on season 13, and the way you approach it was exactly how it happened on 13.
Is it-
That's why I laughed.
I think Elliot.
Yeah, it was
didn't she
Elliot,
call
and that's
you
why
Nina?
I said, you were wild. That's why you got sent home 3 times. That's what I said. Yeah.
Love. All right, let's go back to this.
It's the Nina.
Nina.
The Nina.
Okay, perfect.
That's a cute little runway. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see that. We do have questions that come from our VIP members. You wanna start one of those?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's do that. Thank you to our VIP members, by the way, for submitting questions. We appreciate you.
Our first question comes from Malcolm, and Malcolm wants to ask Denali, how obvious was it on set that this was Ginger's bracket?
Because that was not subtle at all, and this answer shouldn't be subtle at all.
Thank you for your question, Malcolm.
Love you.
Diving right in. We love to see it. Listen, I will repeat what I've been saying kind of like in general to myself and what I've experienced or whatnot. Like, this is RuPaul's Drag Race. It is a formatted, biased competition show with a lot of subjective judging. And at the end of the day, it is literally woven into the fabric of Drag Race for it to favor certain individuals, certain people that are really good at the show, certain people that RuPaul really likes, that her humor vibes with, that everything is just a match with or whatnot, or people that are very experienced at it as well. If I had walked in there and all of the challenges were an ice skating challenge, and then it was like a reggaeton song challenge, and then it was like a dance challenge, I would also be like, those are kind of skewed towards Denali. Interesting.
Right. Yeah.
You guys are not unintelligent. You guys have been part of this show for a long time. You understand it. However, with saying that, Ginger Minj is extremely good at Drag Race.
Absolutely.
I would not want to take away at all her ability to do really well in this show. And we saw it. We were like, wow, you are really good at the show. Let me say this so hard, because this fandom definitely thinks sometimes that things are just black and white. Two things can exist at once, okay? This show is built to favor people. Those people can also be really good at this show, okay? That's all I'll say on that.
And not to diminish someone's hard work as well, because that doesn't mean, because you cannot go on Drag Race and not work hard.
Absolutely.
You have to work really hard. And last thing I'm going to say about this Ginger thing too, it's like, listen, she didn't go there and say, I'm going to be your favorite. You have to choose me. You have to produce this for me. You're doing this for me. No. If you feel that that's what's happening, it's because that's what they decided to do. So, at the end of the credits, there's Randy, there's RuPaul, there's Mandy. Go read those executive producers. Do not go after Ginger Minj.
Right. Yes.
Do not give her the hate, because she doesn't deserve it. Tom Campbell and Fenton Bailey. Those are the other ones. Anyway, go ahead. Go for it.
I want to piggyback on that. Tina, for you, did you feel a similar sentiment with regard to your cast of bracket 2?
Oh. I mean, I was very lucky to have that design challenge first. Because there's one thing about a design challenge is like, if it looks like it looks like right? So I knew, like, if I had to blow out of the water, they couldn't tell me anything. So I knew I'd be safe with that. But then as it went on, you know, you could tell certain people were favored and certain people got away with a lot more. I mean, we all know. I mean, Mistress is great TV. She's a horrible person.
Like Denali said, two things
I
can
said
be
two things can exist together. I mean, she's great. She's a master manipulator, and I'm in awe of it. But it doesn't mean she's a good person. So that's all. But
on that note, let's go see these beautiful 6 people that are great people on this bracket.
I love her. She's my sister.
Wow. Yeah. So, swoop, bitch. Let's see. Let's dive in, shall we?
Let's start with the challenge
So we're gonna
first.
start with the group with the performances. Okay.
Yes.
Do we want to judge them as a group or individually?
We can do individually.
Let's do individually. We'll start with Denali. Denali. Denali, my critique is going to come both things, the look and the performance. You are giving me leader of this bracket. You are giving me, this is not your first time at the rodeo. You came here to win. You know what you're doing. That's what you're giving me. Like it gives. I'm prepared. I'm here. It's sickening. I have to. It's just really sickening. Your performance, everything. Okay. What did you ladies think about Denali?
In addition, your hat stayed on, unlike your fellow group members. You hit the choreo, and it looked like when you were all together that they pulled some choreo from your group to do for everybody. So great job there, Denali.
Good for you catching that, because I was gonna say that the other group was doing your movement, so I live, baby. Speaking of leader, your runway was spot on. I absolutely lived. Tell me about it. Who made it? What was the tea, honey?
Should we do the challenge first?
No, we're doing challenge. We're not doing the look. We're just doing challenge. Performance.
Okay.
Yeah, performance. What did you think about the performance?
I thought Cuckoo was amazing, but as far over Denali.
Denali, we're Denali.
So Denali, first of all, you stand out so hard from everybody else.
Yeah.
Because number one, it wasn't the fashion choice alone was such an elevated fashion, like cowgirl, like Western, like it was just like really, really amazing. And you perform everything, and that's it's always a pleasure to watch you, whether it's skate on stage or do anything, because you hit every word with your body as well, and it's a fierce ass thing to watch. So
it was so good.
Yeah,
it was so good.
It's 100% like, dare I say, 100% pure love.
I do have one question because sometimes when they send you your looks that you need to bring, like you need to bring a country look. They don't tell you that it's going to be for like a girl group or it's going to be a runway or it's going to be so sometimes the look is crazy elaborate. Next thing you know, you got to dance in it. It's for a girl group or whatever. Did you know it was going to be for this, or what did you think it might have been a runway?
They had just said we need you guys to do a country look, and they asked us that 2 days before we were supposed to leave, I want to say. So the rest of our list was all set. We were good to go. And I think 2 days before we left, they were like, by the way, we need a country we just need a country look from you guys.
Yeah.
And that's when in my mind I went, oh, we're probably going to do a country girl group or performance challenge of some sort. Yeah.
Because I have to say, everyone looks so good. Everyone's country look was really, really good.
Well, that's good. They only gave us like 2 to 3 days or something like that
crazy.
for that
that's
one.
Insane.
And them ostrich feathers are not cheap, baby girl.
Monique Lee, Rodagio, Chicago.
So let's go. Now we're going to go through everyone else. And because they're not here, we really don't care. But I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm just saying we're going to go a little bit faster with these. Just tell us good, not, but let's move on.
I think it's the runways,
So let's do Acid Betty. What do we think about Acid Betty's performance?
I thought she was great. The hat kept falling, so it was very distracting. Otherwise, I thought she kept up really well.
Yeah.
She's a dancer. She did it.
Cute.
She was up there.
Yeah,
with
I was
Liked
really
it.
impressed with Acid. I think her look was light up. If you guys couldn't
Yeah,
remember,
we saw.
it lit up, and the stage lights kind of washed that out. But yeah, the wig was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it was insane.
The wig was such a choice, and that was crazy. But I really enjoy Acid's drag because it's pretty club kitty. It's androgynous. It doesn't really choose a gender. It's just kind of like it reminds me of like Berlin and like the old club kids that were like all about. So it just is nice to see that kind of drag again.
Miss Berner, what do you think?
I mean, that hair was crazy, and I loved it. I just couldn't tell, but you just watch, and you were just like, damn, she's in it. I love it. I love to watch
I thought it was fun to watch.
It was cool.
And the light up
really
costume.
cool.
I thought it was fun for sure. Alyssa Hunter, what did you think?
Oh, Alyssa was in the other group. She was good. I giggled at hers. Yeah. No, she was in y'all's group. Forgive me. Yes. Love you, Alyssa. Love you, Alyssa.
I will give her credit. She made it through the verse. She did great. She looked great. I love the color. Did you guys get to choose the color? You guys were just so on.
Yeah, again, it was just something that we had while we were there.
Crazy.
So we hopefully were coordinated. Actually, Ginger in the other group, she had a purple look, I think. Was it purple?
Yeah, Ginger's
and
purple.
The other girls did not have anything that was purple, and Ginger was like, this is the only country look I brought. So the other girls completely changed their look, Daya and
Cuckoo had on those purple tights
to match Ginger.
How
And
congenial.
Ginger had on leather gloves.
How congenial.
Daya stayed up sewing. There's something on her wrists or something that are the same.
Yes,
as
that's the little leather
Ginger's.
gauntlets, yeah, I
Yeah,
saw.
so everybody compensated for Ginger.
Miss Berner, what did you think of Alyssa?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you. You get it. You get it. Yeah.
Listen, we were.
Yes.
Miss Burner and I were on
Alyssa-
the
No,
same.
it was
I thought-
weird. It was weird because it doesn't sound like the recording, so I was a little
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah.
Like
thought-
where we were going on there was a total 180. So I guess I was expecting to see what I saw in the recording, and I didn't see it
Yeah.
on stage. So I was just confused about that.
I thought
Yeah.
Alyssa's performance was good. It
Yeah.
was just from the get-go, her lyrics and things were a little like hard to kind of like understand and things like that. But yeah.
Yeah, and I said it last week. I think too with like, you know, her accent is beautiful, but if you put too many words, it's just harder to understand. So just for judging purposes, simplify it. So, and I think one of the judges said that, like,
I think
or,
so.
or somebody said that to her. But
I'm
anyway,
sure. I'm sure it was Michelle.
yeah. Cynthia Lee Fontaine. I'm gonna start with the performance part really quick. That turned it out. I'm sorry.
Turn.
She turned it. She sounded great. I loved it. What did you think? Quickly.
Pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I cheered at the end of
That
hers
was
because she
great.
tore.
Love, 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 love.
So good. I
Yeah.
love Cuckoo. Yeah, she was great.
Yeah, cuckoo for cuckoo.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we have Batty. What do we think of her performance?
Go ahead.
I thought it was a little low, like the volume, like it just wasn't as powerful as some of the other ones. But that's all. But it wasn't bad. But you know what I mean?
I heard that. I thought she was a little frantic. I thought she was moving in a similar fashion as she was to last week.
Yeah.
So maybe she could have reeled it in a hair for me.
Got it.
I liked it. It felt a little rocky for me. It didn't
Yeah.
feel as like twangy and country as it could be, but yeah.
I agree with Naysha. Like, I think her pitch was just a little low.
Oh.
And on Drag Race, everything has to be like, I'm here! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I don't know. I feel like it was a choice though. Like, you know, like those Western cowboys who used to talk like this.
Yeah.
I don't know if we were going for that, but that's what I thought it was.
That's what it gave for you.
That's what it gave for me. It gave me a little ketamine, you know?
Yeah. Work.
A little slower.
And last but not least, Ginger Minge. I mean, it was great. It really was great. She did well. Do you agree?
The challenge was made for her. Yeah.
Absolutely, it was made for her. For
Yeah.
sure.
Y'all said it, not me.
Yeah.
She did great, though. She did choose. She did amazing.
She
She's,
did.
she's professional. Those
Yeah.
challenges are perfect.
Yeah, and looked great. Okay, now here we do, it's either 10s across the board or it's a chop.
For the runways.
For the runways. So now we're going to do the runways really, really quick. Feel free to elaborate on someone that you must talk about, but let's just do 10s and chop due to time, okay? So we're going to start with Acid, Batty, and her runway. For me, it was 10s across the board.
10s for Acid.
Tens, love the skirt.
Tens.
10 sentence.
Perfect. Alyssa, Hunter, what was it again?
Oh, the
She's
Grammys.
She
the
did
Grammys.
It was
the
the
Grammys one.
The
yeah.
most recent one.
That's what
The
her
Bob,
cake
Oh,
Bob
yes.
Mackie.
I
Bob Mackie,
don't-
like fringy.
The
Okay,
2024
yes.
Bob Mackie.
Two things can be true. I love you. I love you, Alyssa. Chop for me. It just wasn't strong. It just didn't pop to me. It just didn't give it to me, especially in comparison to everyone else. So I'm going to say it's a chop, but I love you and you look absolutely beautiful, and I'll see you here next week. Shady.
And we will tell you next week that we love
And
the look.
in her, no, actually, I'll call the right now and be like, that's a chop.
But
I'll tell her. Let me call her. Hold on.
comparatively, yeah, it's a chop.
But it's
Yeah.
chop.
Looks 10, hair chop.
But Miley's hair was a chop at that show.
No, I just
Google it. That hair was a chop. Go ahead, keep going.
It was tense for me, and I'll say this. In defense, when you have to do a recreation runway of a celebrity, sometimes, like, not all of the looks are as va-va-voom for Drag
Yeah.
Race, right? You know, an iconic Miley, that just happened, so it was really recent. That's a performance stage
Yeah.
look from Miley. So she's just coming out in, like, a dance look. But I thought it was still good, and the recreation, if I was judging it based on it, I thought it was really tight.
And Denali, did you all have to? They say you have a Miley runway. Submit a look.
Yes.
Hurry up. So it could be two because this happens.
Yes.
You submit a look and they say somebody else already picked that.
I was at a gig and I was waiting for the email and I was like just waiting and it was like Miley and I went straight to VMAs. I went straight to the whatever, the teddy bear, and I was like, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. And luckily I caught it.
Yep,
and I texted Dia too. I was like, this one's mine.
There was
What did you
There was
think?
4 Venus flytraps on ours, and they just told us a bunch of us no. But it was great. I thought it was like you said, it's a perfect recreation. So
Love it.
Yeah.
You loved it.
I loved it.
So
yeah.
10s across the board.
Yeah, 10s across the board. I thought it was.
Okay.
I thought it was really well done.
So I'm the only shady here. Okay.
No, because it was a Miley look, and I
No,
thought,
no, it was.
I thought out of all of them, it was probably the most spot on.
Yeah,
besides
no, it was.
yours.
It totally
You know
was.
what I mean? Like,
I just remembered something too about All Stars 8. Just a little bit of tea of submitting. Grace Jones, you remember that runway? they did a Grace Jones, and I submitted one, and they're like, "Oh no, that one is taken." But it was weird the way they said it, and then I was like, "Okay, how about this one?" They're like, "Oh no, that one is taken," and then I'm like, "What?" And then I'm like, "Okay, what about this one?" And they're like, and the one I was speaking to, I'm not going to say her name because I'm not going to get her in trouble because I actually really like her. She's like, "Listen, those three, we're holding those for someone." They were literally holding 3 different looks for one.
Who is that?
And then
Who is that?
Wait, and then
Who is that?
and then they released it, and then I get an email, and it's like, "Hey, these looks just got released. If you want to do one of these," so I'm like, "I'm already getting this." Like, it was kind of shit. Anyway, moving on. Who do we have left?
Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
Cynthia.
What was it?
It was
She
like
had a B
Oh,
collar.
yes,
She had
yes.
a B collar.
the
yes.
eyes, the fur.
Yeah. What did you think?
She started with me because I told her, this is the best Cynthia's ever looked. I think personally, the colors matched. It looked really well. She did it.
And it was somebody else's look. That's the shady part. She's so shady for
She's
that.
shady.
What did you think? 10s?
I'm giving it 10s. The crotch was a little wonky, but 10s other than that.
10s.
I was
10s.
going to completely agree. 10s, but the crotch could have been fit better.
10s. What do you think?
10s, baby.
10s. Gorgeous. Diabetes. Okay, the thing with diabetes is you guys have to remember that sometimes we like to go over the top, and sometimes it's even harder to tone it down and bring it back. And the way that she brought it back and down to really be true to the look was sickening. She looked absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love the look. So I'm going to give her tons across the board.
10s, Daya. Don't stab me. Thank you.
10.
Denali?
10s, yes, 10s.
Wait, are you guys watching this?
We actually send them a copy of this afterwards. So
Yeah,
they
10s!
Okay, we have Ginger Minge. What do we think about Ginger Minge? That hair, what the f- was that? Listen, for me, the fit was a little off for me. It looked a little big. Did it? Was that? Or is
She
it 'cause
wore
of
the blue
holes?
Elvis
It was
with
the
the holes
blue.
in it.
Elvis.
If they were standing next to each other, I would not have recognized that as Miley. And that's just me. Maybe I need to educate myself more. But the look looks great, so I'll say 10s for that.
Oh, it's a chop.
I'm going to say chop because it wasn't.
Denali.
It was a chop for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Crazy. Tina?
Chop. It's a chop.
I didn't like the look in general. You know what I mean? So it's hard to whatever it was. I just didn't like the look. Like it's the holes, and it was all right. Fine,
Tina,
it's a
just say
chop.
chop.
It's a chop.
Two things can be true.
Two things can be true. It wasn't
Two
like
things can be
I'm telling you, that's
I
going to
ju-
be the new motto here.
I
Two things can be true.
two things. Can be
Honestly,
true.
that- true.
that phrase has helped me get through so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
Truly,
I'm gonna
you
get
guys
that.
have
Just
no
get that.
idea.
Get that tattoo. Just
And
like,
last look but
Literally.
not least, let's do Denali's.
Yes.
It's 10s across the board for me. I love that she got creative with it and gave us 2 looks. And that bear, I don't know how you traveled with that, but that was great. I loved it. 10s for me.
10s. I love the Bangers era. Where did you get the finger from? Because
Amazon.
it was on you?
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
No,
you took the
it
look
came
off
out
and
of
then
nowhere.
you had a finger
Oh,
on.
yeah. I had to
It's
set.
produced.
I'm asking how it happened, girl.
I had a dresser set everything where
Got it.
all over the stage. So I was like, a stage right, I'm gonna drop the backpack off. On stage left, I'd like you to put the finger there, pick it up so I can rip off the thing. There was like choreography to
Oh,
it.
gorge. Love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, we've never heard that before, baby. That's
Yeah,
why
no,
I asked.
that's the
That's why
first
I
time.
asked.
Yeah. Great question, Kara.
Tina, what
10s.
do you
yeah,
give
yeah,
it?
it was perfect.
10s across the board.
Yeah,
I thought
it was
lovely.
it was a hard look to put together because when Miley did it, it was very. She was really slim. She was in flats. She had just the buzz cut.
Yeah.
So there were things I had to do to feminize it. I had to bring in the waist. I had to put the hair down a little bit lower. I was in heels, things like that. But it was a tough one because I was like,
Yeah. It was good though.
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought it
yeah.
was gorgeous. I thought it was
Thank
gorgeous.
you.
10s across the board. Okay.
Thank
Now
you.
let's see these produced judges. That's not what I meant.
Critiques.
Wait. That's not what I meant.
Yes,
meant,
it is.
Let's go back to the show and see these non-objective criticism. So just really quick, because based on time, we want to just keep it moving. So how do we feel about the critiques? Do we agree with the critiques that they were given?
Yeah, Denali had the most favorable to me. I don't know who's going to be in the top with her, though. That's
Yeah.
what I'm confused about.
I feel like Ginger will be in the top.
It also gave Acid and Daya. Daya
Daya
also
got
had
really good
critiques.
critiques.
yeah.
Really? No, they really praised Daya down.
I think
Did they
the
not?
only
Did I- yeah,
negative critique was to Alyssa,
Alyssa?
right? They were like, "Oh, you stumbled over some words or something."
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty positive all around.
No, it was. For me, I think it would be Denali and Ginger. Those are the 2 people that I think would be on the top. Yeah? Yeah, agree?
Yeah, I really thought Cuckoo might have
What
it.
do you think?
I'm gonna say
Oh,
Naya.
that's
You know what?
not to take away. Cuckoo nailed that challenge.
Right. Cuckoo totally nailed that challenge, but I'm judging both runway and performance.
Gotcha.
And for me, the runway was not.
You thought Ginger's runway was stronger than
Cuckoo's? I don't think so,
Oh,
baby.
see,
I don't think so, my love.
I don't think so.
Not
I just
tonight.
either.
No.
Well, runways
Yeah,
don't
you're right.
matter,
You're
so...
right. You're,
No.
I used to say that all the time. Seriously.
They
No,
will?
no. So Ginger is not in the top. Then it's Denali and Cuckoo.
Cuculina.
If we're gonna, yeah, it would be Denali. The thing,
Riding on
the
my
thing
cuckoo.
is, you can't take this away from Ginger. That was a really good performance.
great.
Like a really, really good performance. It was her element. I'm sure she sent in the music. Anyway, no, let's move on. I'm kidding. I'm just with y'all.
But that's what I'm saying. Is if it was like a Puerto Rican reggaeton challenge,
Right.
it might be different.
It might
You know
be
what I'm saying?
different. Okay.
Ginger would still win that, honey. Don't forget she's Puerto Rican.
Listen, if it was this bracket, yeah, she would. They'd fix it too. Anyway, stop. Listen, we don't want to. Wait, hold on. Because you know we're going to get a whole bunch of for this. We don't want to add to the hate. We love Ginger. We are all Ginger fans. I have to reiterate, do not hate on Ginger. It is not Ginger's fault.
I love Ginger.
I love Ginger. If it's looking way overproduced for you and too obvious, then I say you tell the show that, not Ginger. With that said, let's move on and see the rest of the show.
100% agreed. Don't send them hate gear.
And I forgot, there's also Theron. You can message him too.
Welcome
That's
back,
another
All
producer.
Stars.
Who won the lip sync? Who won it? If you don't stand up and serve, yeah, y'all to your feet, bitch. You turned that down, girl. Listen. We have to go back to the show, but before we do, you went from one iconic singing to doing, from one iconic lip sync to another iconic lip sync. And listen, usually when you have an iconic lip sync, it's because it was a battle. No, this is a bloodbath. You ended it.
Swept her.
Anyway,
Swept mop and squeegeed.
And two things could be true at once. We love you, Ginger. Moving on, put the show back on. Okay, before we get into Untucked, everyone make some f***ing noise for Denali. YouTube, you can't see it, but this is the second standing ovation for Denali tonight. Absolutely.
Oh, y'all to your feet for the queen.
Okay, now sit down. Okay, work. Thank you.
We love seeing our friends get on like you, Denali, and seeing you eat it up just like that. It is discouraging to see them play in our faces.
Discouraging is not even the word. Like, of course it is discouraging, but it's foolery. Like, it is like, how dare you? This is the part that it just pisses me off, because it's one thing to produce things, but
get it out, girl.
It's just frustrating, because you see people like Denali, in Denali especially, because I know Denali, and you can see it. She's there because she was ready to be there. She's doing everything that she needs to do and beyond. She looks like a front runner, and then you're gonna pull a stunt like this. Listen, produce, do your job. But the job is supposed to be that we don't know you're producing. That we don't know. You get what I'm saying? But listen, right here, it should have been, look, I know we want to give this to her, but you cannot. There's absolutely no way. And then what ruins it, everyone goes after Ginger, and they don't know that this service that they're doing to Ginger. Because right now you're doing all this producing so obvious, and they don't come after you, they come after Ginger.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop talking because people say I talk too much, and who says that? But I do host this show, so yes, I am going to talk.
You do say it though, because they can't say
but
it.
I always say what they can't say, and I will always advocate for queens when goes unfair. That was unfair. It was just unfair. It was wrong. No hate to Ginger. Turned that. I'm glad. Listen, I'm glad you wore the costume that I borrowed you.
Crazy.
Nor.
That costume was sickening, and you will be giving me that. With that, we're going to do an exchange. I'm going to give you the red bob. You give me that. Okay. Even exchange. Okay. But, ladies, please comment. Say something.
We are going to find out exactly how you felt moments after. You can't give us too much because you do talk about it next week, but we are going to jump into Untucked, get that started, and then Denali, we're going to hear what you have to say about this.
I got heated right now. I'm so
That was
pissed.
wild. That was wild, right?
I'm so pissed about it.
Like, it's like,
Listen, next week, I promise to have all the producers' emails for you, and I'm going to put them on the screen. And I'm going to have all you plug their emails and be like, you motherfucker, and blah, blah. No, actually, open letter to producers. Learn how to do your job, because that was not it. And they do watch the show. They do watch the show.
maybe not after this one.
Oh, no. They'll continue to watch it. I was at DragCon, and I had made a comment here, and I was like, oh, because I don't fit the narrative. And then I saw him at DragCon. I'm like, oh, hey, Farron. He's like, yeah, miss, I don't fit the narrative. I'm like, ooh. Okay. I said, so you're a fan.
Okay. So you pay $1.99.
With that said, let's go into Untucked.
She said, so you think I'm really skinny?
Okay. Denali.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Okay, so in a nutshell,
What
first of all, I want to know what you were feeling during this lip sync, but you can't say too much, obviously, so because of next week with the points. But talk to me. How are you feeling during this?
Okay, so I've had about 11 months to sit and process everything that has happened. You guys are getting these emotions fresh, so I understand the passion and the energy and the heat, even like Naysha was saying, I get it. I 100% get it. In the moment when I was there and, they had said Ginger won, I was extremely upset. I was really mad. I was really disappointed that I didn't do well. But as I had said, two things can exist at once. And immediately in my mind, I needed a little bit of space, so I walked off stage. I did my processing within about 5 seconds, and you'll see in this Untucked later as they air how we feel. We come off the stage after we lip sync and we talk about how we feel. You'll see that I've done the processing almost immediate, and I go, Ginger, congratulations. You did amazing. That's awesome, amazing, because you have to, you just got to manage your emotions on TV and things like that and whatever. And I didn't want to come off as ungrateful or anything. At the end of the day, I was in the top, and I did amazing, and I had an incredible challenge.
Absolutely.
And regardless of anyone's subjectivity to how they prefer their lip syncs, I know I ate that lip sync.
Yes, you did. Yeah, you did.
Good.
Yes, you did.
Speaking of the lip sync, generally, I approach this lip sync with the same mindset that I did the Pure Love lip sync. I always semi-choreograph my lip syncs in my head. I always have little cues of what I need to do. It's the same thing that I apply to all of my stage performances, crescendos, verses, choruses, bridges, everything. I balance my tricks out so it looks like a nice packaged thing. Regardless of, I had already seen some people online that were like, this was very Kenya Michaels versus Latrice Royale. There was a queen with the babies. There was a queen that stood there and embodied the song, and then there was a queen that danced around her and was doing too much. I also call on that.
Yeah, not the same.
The Kenya Michaels versus Latrice Royale lip sync was an Aretha Franklin song.
Natural Woman.
It was Natural Woman.
While they were pregnant drag queens.
Hello.
It calls for standing in one spot, parking and barking, and commanding your audience. Period. This was 2007 Miley Cyrus's hit, See You Again, a pop-punk, pop dance track. So I danced.
Yes.
A lot of people are saying, oh, Denali was at 100 the whole time. She should have paced her lip sync out more. She was giving way too much. She looked a fool. She was doing the most.
And
listen.
And those 13-year-olds can go f themselves.
Okay, Naysha, we
They
don't do
know-
that.
Listen.
Not to the kids.
We are on RuPaul's Drag Race. That means give it your all, because you never know when you're going to be able to do that again.
Period.
So I gave it my all from the very beginning. Whether you like that or not, that is the lip sync style I will always give you. It is 100. On another note, about a verse, a chorus, and a bridge were omitted from that lip sync. That was heavily edited down. If you look at one of the tricks I do, it's a 360 split. It's after a confessional and there's no music. And then I happen to be in that same spot for a separate trick that happens for the bridge, or the final chorus of the song. So a lot of people were like, all she did was splits. All she did was splits. It was really repetitive with the tricks. We all know RuPaul's Drag Race, does what they need to do with their lip sync.
We gotta go back.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta go back because you choreographed the hands, the strum, the beat, just like Tina was saying earlier. How you choreographed to every crescendo and up and down with the movement.
It's lip syncing with your body.
Yeah, I heard beats in that song for the first time ever because she hit them. Because she was hitting them. I said, I didn't know that song did that.
Yeah, it was the hands.
But I
for
do
me.
now.
Okay, yes.
I do now.
When I'm choreographing these things and I know that it will be broadcasted on television, you're gonna hear certain sounds on the TV that you wouldn't maybe when you're in a live performance. So I went even harder on the musicality aspect of it, because that's the point for me as a performer, is to bring things out in music that you haven't heard or that you can connect to or whatnot. Regardless, what I have to say about Ginger's lip sync is she did great. It was good lip sync. It was fine. But I will say, compared to what I've seen from Ginger, I also was like, I don't really know if that's her finest park and bark that I've seen in embodying the lip sync. She makes Ru laugh. She knows what she needs to do. She'll make the faces and she'll do the things that are going to make RuPaul laugh. And RuPaul, let me say this, I also think over time, her performance style, like that she prefers, has changed. Back in COVID, she loved a bucking queen. She loved a kick split, go for it, high energy bucking queen. We were fresh out of COVID and we just wanted to see a drag show. We were just like, yes, girl, no down, like whatever, But now...
Not no.
There's
one queen that does that.
No, she's absolutely right. And I will say this. The fandom has a lot to do with it, too. Because for a minute, everyone was like, oh, another split. Oh, another this. Oh, another that. So then they're listening to that. And now they're like, well, we need to pay a little more attention to the lip sync, this and that. But that didn't apply here. That was full on.
I at least needed a double pirouette from Miss Thing.
Listen. We have to go back
it's
to
all
Untucked.
subjective. I just wanted to say that. Yeah.
We have to go back to Untucked. The last thing I'm gonna say is the shady happens sometimes, and yes, you didn't win the lip sync, but I bet you every person at home saw this and said, if I wasn't a fan of Denali, I am now.
And the hearts for
and
sure.
Listen, and I'm a fan of Denali's, always have been, but now I am president of the fan club. You could email me for merch, and I will send it to you, T-shirts in all.
Well,
I'll steal some of her stuff and send it to you to the highest bidder. Let's go back to Untucked.
One last final thing that I'll say. All I'm going to say is there's so many people to please in this thing. There's Ru, there's production, there's yourself. But you guys will always be the ones that I do this for. I will do...
Love that.
I do drag for you, for the fans, and for your love. So thank you, because all of this is healing a lot of that pain that I felt over the past few years. I love you so much. I love you, Chicago.
And on that note, let's go back to Untucked. Hey, so because I know the audience has lots of questions, and I want you to be able to ask both of our guests lots of questions. We're going to go right back into Untucked, so we can wrap up Untucked, do our VIP questions, and get into
boring.
the audience.
Just skip it.
So let's do Untucked, because this is groundbreaking, guys. It's great.
Okay, let's go back. We're wasting time.
Back to Untucked. I had to tell myself, shut the up.
Is that it?
Listen,
Yeah, that's
is that it? That's the episode? Okay.
Produced.
Yes, Untucked. That was great. Make some noise. Sure, that was wonderful. Okay, so at this time right now, we're gonna do some VIP questions, and then we're gonna do questions in the audience. But right now, we would like to say goodbye to the front bar. Front bar, if you want to join us for our Q&A, you're more than welcome to come back here. We're gonna have a kiki. Yeah, come join us back here. We're gonna put music on up there and some videos and all that good stuff. And then to our non-VIP members, we're gonna say have a good night and stop being so cheap. Be a VIP. Be a VIP member. It's $2. Last week, we had people saying certain things in the comments, and then I was like, did you not watch the episode? Oh, you're not a VIP member.
Clock it.
Which means you're not getting the full story. So I encourage you, become a VIP member. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to make some noise for the very stunning, the very gorgeous, my dear friend, Miss Denali.
And let's keep that going from Braggy to her name is Tina Burner.
Yes. Please put your hands together for Miss Caramel Tavera.
Thank you, Diva. Keep it going, everyone, for Batty Davis.
Color is chartreuse, ladies and gentlemen. It's her birthday. Make some noise for Naysha.
Thank you guys so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.